Welcome back to St. Paul Harley-Davidson. Today we're going to take a look at how to thoroughly inspect and measure end play on a sealed ball bearing wheel. In model year 2000, Harley-Davidson went to a sealed wheel bearing, meaning they are not serviceable. This seal is permanently pressed into the bearing itself so you don't remove it and repack with grease. The outer edge is pressed into the outer race, and the inner edge is where the lip seal actually is. We drew a line here so you can see when you rotate the wheel, the inner race is what's moving and sealing against this surface. If you see movement on the outer race, then that seal is compromised. It's no longer pressed in. It's going to be more prone to pulling water and contamination into the wheel. If we were to pry this seal out and damage the bearing in doing so, you can kind of see a little bit better the lip seal versus the pressed edge seal and how it seats into the bearing race itself. That holds all the grease in the wheel and keeps the contamination out. So when you're inspecting a wheel bearing of this type, you're first going to just kind of go by feel. When you're rotating the bearing, do you feel any rough spots? Do you hear any noise? Do you see anything compromised, grease leaking out of the bearing, movement on that outer seal? If it passes all your visual and feel testing, then that's when you're going to go to the motorcycle or chalk the wheel up with spacers and a bearing and test the bearings to see what the end play is. So the ball bearings play between the outer race and the inner race. When it's new, is going to be very close to zero. When it's worn out, it's going to be 0.02 of an inch of end play. And we'll look at that on the bike over here. So we've got our dial indicator set up, the magnetic base on the brake disc. That's basically attached to the inner, or the outer race, I should say. The inner race is bolted up to the axle, and the dial indicator is reading off that. So all we're going to do is kind of push and pull on the wheel and see how much deflection we get on the needle itself. Very little in this case. We're not even getting a full 1/1000th end play. So this is a good bearing. We didn't have any rough spots and end plays within specification.